Hey, there's some sunlight today. Just gonna try to get some flight in just before the light dies. Got about, what is it, an hour or so? And I did start the video rendering and holy, it's taking a long time. Kind of funny because when you look at it, looking at your back, I'm thinking, geez, I shot all this stuff. It's kind of like hiking a mountain. When you think about it from below, you're like, there's no way I'm gonna hike all the way up there. Look at that. If you just keep walking and walking, then eventually when you look down afterwards, you're like, I hiked up to that. And all the snow, almost all of it is gone here.
No, come here.
And 2017 is almost over already. To me, it felt like the time just flew by. There was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, but I didn't actually get a chance to actually do it. But the main stuff I did, I actually did get through it so far. Well, I can't say officially yet because it's still like a day left, like tomorrow. For some of the news stuff, I followed up with that news that you guys told me about the drone crashing into an army helicopter, and as well, there was some kind of swatting news. Okay, maybe I should get some flight in first, just because again, the light's dying pretty quickly. Okay, I think I got some cool moon shots and stuff like that. Funny thing is, two ladies walked by and first like, oh, a drone. And I thought, like, you know, they just had general questions because most people, they'd never flown before. And she just comes by and says, oh yeah, I fly mine all the time. I'm like, really? It's like, which one do you have? She's like, a Sony one. I'm like, a Sony drone? I've never heard of Sony making a drone before. And then she's like, yeah, they do. I'm like, I'm pretty sure. No, they don't. Like, where'd you get it from? Like, I don't know, one of those Best Buy drones. And then basically I put out the ad, like, I'm pretty sure it's this one. Because she says it's white and all that, and it's pretty much a Phantom that she had. That's kind of cool to see though, a lot more people flying them and finding them comfortable to be around, because for the most part, again, in my opinion anyways, they're pretty much just like a camera. One crazy news I read today was about swatting. For those who don't know, usually in the online gaming community, some people do this as a quote prank, although it's not really a prank in my opinion. They phone the police, 911, they give a fake type of distress call saying like, oh, I'm gonna kill somebody, in that sense. So they get like a SWAT team to go over the house. Usually they do it because a lot of live streamers, they would think it's funny having all these cops in the background and busting them, but of course it's a crime to do that. This case was the person that was trying to SWAT the other person, he gave the wrong address, and the address was actually from a completely innocent person who had nothing to do with the situation. So when they arrived on the scene, I guess thinking that the guy was going to kill someone, blow up the house and all that, the SWAT team came telling the guy to, I guess, put his hands up and everything like that, and for some reason, I guess he put his hands below as opposed to up, and the guy just shot him, like the police officer. Jeez. I'm kind of amazed the authorities aren't already aware of stuff like this. There's been tons of stories like this of people doing fake swatting. You can even hear the call here that the person apparently phoned in, and I guess the poor operator trying to stop the situation. But you can see, I guess, in my opinion, it sounded kind of fake, but I guess when you're in that situation, you don't know, but you can kind of hear how people do it.
Hello?
This is 911. What's going on?
I recently got disconnected. I had told you guys everything that happened about the argument with my mom and dad. They were arguing and I shot him in the head and he's not breathing anymore. I was on the phone with you guys earlier telling you guys about it. I got disconnected.
Okay. Well, we're going to try to get you some help. Where exactly in the house, like, is this a one-story or two-story house?
It's one story.
Is it towards the front of the house, the back of the house?
Well, like it's like towards the back, I guess. I'm just pointing the gun at them, making sure they stay in the closet, my mom and my little brother.
Okay, is there any way you can put the gun up?
No. Are you guys sending someone over here? Because then I'm definitely not going to put it away.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and stay on the phone with you, okay?
That's fine. Yeah, I'm thinking about, because I already poured gasoline all over the house. I might just set it on fire.
Okay, well, we don't need to do that, okay?
Do you have my address correct?
Are you white, black, Asian, Hispanic?
It was an accident, so...
Okay, that's fine. Are you there? Talk to me. Hello? Are you there?
Again, to me personally anyways, it's sounding kind of fake in terms of the guy like phoning in saying, you sure you have this address right and everything like that. I mean, it just sounds like it's so planned, like from that guy anyways. Although the guy that did the crime is kind of lame in my opinion. Even he writes in his social media saying, well, what difference does it make if he goes to jail? Does it bring anybody back? Jeez. So about that drone story, about the drone crashing into the army helicopter, a little bit of more details came out about it. It was kind of weird in some ways. I don't even know if I should believe it in terms of the guy's story anyways. So essentially, he flew in an area where he thought he was doing it perfectly safe. But I guess the theme of this is he relied on the app to tell him he can't fly there. And essentially, he crashed into it. And as well, the other factor to keep in mind is he was flying this way beyond visual line of sight. It says he was probably 2.5 miles away from where he was. So as he realized the battery was, I guess, getting low, he hit return to home to come back. And it says here, but it never arrived. After waiting 30 minutes, he assumed there had been a mechanical malfunction and the drone had fallen into the water. He returned home. I don't know if I should believe that. Again, like the whole story is this guy is I guess he's flying it safe, he knows the basic rules, and he hit return to home, and then he just realized, okay, I don't see a signal, whatever, he just assumed it fell in the water. I mean, even if you press return to home on a DJI product, you should technically still see the feed, correct? So if it crashed, you'll know it crashed because everything will go, blank or whatever all of a sudden. So afterwards, as it goes on, he was surprised when an investigator came up to him, asking him if he owned like a Phantom and all that, and then all this unfolded that you guys have already read of course. And again, he kind of blames the app that he was relying on it, saying things like the geofencing wasn't, I guess, proper in terms of giving him the proper information, whereas DJI was saying things like these are more like guidelines as opposed to things that you should completely rely on 100%. In terms of finding him, I always thought it had something to do with DJI looking at the whole server log, seeing who's there, and then identifying the aircraft there. But it says here, it turns out that one of the Phantom 4 motors was found in the UH-60M's engine cooler fan by maintenance workers after the helicopter returned to base. The motor was handed over to the FAA office, and from there made its way to the NTSB investigators. They then reached out to DJI using the serial number still legible on the motor, was able to obtain sales records since they had purchased the drone directly from the manufacturer. I always say, learn to fly manually. Again, the story just doesn't make sense to me in terms of the guy being completely ignorant, like just by the sounds of it. He says he made 38 drone flights in the last 30 days alone and had owned 2 drones before the Phantom 4 involved in the collision. So again, he should at least understand that a bit. I would assume, like, you hit return home, I would assume you would see it actually crash into something as well, right? I wonder if this will raise debate saying that manufacturers should do more in terms of restricting drone usages, in terms of people where they can fly and all that. More geofencing, more quizzes and tests. Okay, I always hear so much animal rumbling here. I wonder if I can detect it with this like easily or not. Well, I guess that answers that question. That made it really easy to see the bird and all that in terms of where it's coming from. Too bad I haven't had time to take this on a real hiking trip yet. Just haven't had the opportunity at the moment, but hopefully I will soon. I actually have a funny idea what to use this for the New Year's, actually. I always wondered about this in terms of how it just kind of changes like the picture, like where to focus the temperature. It's still got to kind of master that with this. Interesting contrast of heat there. Alright, here's what I captured today. All right, see you guys later.